So welcome everyone. Today's acoustic guitar lesson will be for Down on the Corner by CCR. And this one is based on the version, as always, the cover that I have on the channel here. And probably the most difficult thing about this song, it's very simple basic chords that you probably already know. It's pretty much the rhythm and the strumming pattern and isolating notes. So especially for the intro and the break portion, we're really isolating the bass notes and playing specific notes, trying to make specific notes sound and ring and be emphasized, all right? So that's probably the hardest part of the song. Besides that, it's really simple chords like C, G, F, right? So this guitar is tuned down a half a step because that's the key that I play it in on the channel if you're using that video for reference. If you want to play an original, I think it's just tuned in regular tuning, but it'll be the same chords, okay? So we start with the intro, and in the real song, there's like a bass line in the beginning, right? Like boom, 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 boom. There's a good rhythm to it. So I try to mimic that rhythm as best I can. So what I do is I play the chords, but I move my fingers on and off of certain strings, and I try to emphasize certain bass notes. So I'll try to show you how I do that. So the rhythm I use is like, okay, so that's like the rhythm of the song. And I start with the C chord, C major chord. I'll go through the chords very quickly anyway. You probably know these already, they're very basic chords, but a C chord is muting the 6th string with your thumb, playing the 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, the 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, open 3rd string, 1st finger on 1st fret of the 2nd string, and open 1st string. Now you keep this chord on here, and I try to emphasize the bass notes. For the beginning, you could play the whole chord, but I try to stay up in the bass notes just for the intro, so I go like this. Okay, so for the C, you're only pulling off the 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, and you're playing that open, that A, and that's what gives that sound, the change in the bass note. So I go down, down, up, mute, up, down. And when I do that down, that last down, I pull the finger off. So like this. Like that. So real slow. Like that. So you do that twice for the C. So regular speed, like that. And then you switch to a G chord. So you try to emphasize the G, this top 6th string on the first couple strums, and then emphasize the 2nd finger on the 2nd strums, and it sounds like there's a change in notes. The G I'm playing is just the top 2 strings. So I play again, try to stay up in the bass notes. I try not to play too much of the higher strings. But I put my 3rd finger on 3rd fret of the 6th string, 2nd finger on 2nd fret of the 5th string, and I try to stay in the high notes, emphasize the 6th string, so you want it to sound, try to make it sound like that, so see? So I emphasize the 2nd time, I try to emphasize the 5th string, so like that. So you can do like that. So same strumming pattern as before. So down, down, up, down. And you want to hear that down, down, up, down. Like that. So the whole thing like this so far. And then you go back to the C. So that's the whole first part. And then you switch to an F. When I switch to the F, I try to emphasize 2 notes on the C before I switch to the F. So before I switch to the F, I take my 2nd finger off of the C, and I try to emphasize that open D, and then put my 2nd finger back on and emphasize that again. So play it in the middle of the strings now, the middle strings. So like that. So you hear that change, see? Okay, when you go to the F. So whole beginning up to the F. So when you come to the F, we play the F. I play the F, not as a bar chord. It wouldn't even work in this case, actually. You have to play it this way because I'm pulling the fingers off. Okay? And that's, again, what gives it the rhythm. Remember, you can just play the chords if you want to play it the simple way. I'm just showing you the way I play it. So you could play it like that, you know? Okay, so you don't have to do all the finger stuff, but I'm going to show you the way I play it. The F is, I use my thumb to cover the first fret of the 6th string, then I put my 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, pinky on the 3rd fret of the 4th string, 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and I bar the 1st fret of the 2nd and 1st strings with my 1st finger. And I alternate by pulling these 2 fingers off. The 3rd and pinky finger, I pull those off, so I go. Okay, so same strumming as before. So I go. So same even pulling off. So just like on the C, we pulled off the finger when we came to the last downstroke. So like that. So you could pull off both fingers or just the pinky. And you do that twice, same thing like the C. And then you go back to the C. So when you come back to the C this time, again, going with the melody, right? It goes. So it's like da 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 da, and that's the way the sound goes. So you want to try to mimic that. So what you do is you emphasize the 5th string, then emphasize the middle strings, then emphasize the high strings, and it'll sound like that, like this. See? So you try to get that melody in there. You could do that as best you can. You don't have to do that. You could just go. Okay? So. Okay, so that's the way I play it. So whole thing so far to there, it goes. And that's the whole intro. It goes right back to the C, same strumming as before, pulling off the 3rd finger. And then you come into the verse. And the verse is the same chords, but it's just a different strumming. So I'll play the whole intro now coming into the verse. You could see, let's do it slow and regular speed. So slow would be like. And regular speed. Another way you can play the intro, I play around with it sometimes. I like to make it a little choppy and fun, so sometimes I mute it. I go. Okay, sometimes I do that just for the beginning. So play around with it, do it your own way. And then we come into the verse. So verse is. it goes, it strums it once, so, right? So it's like down, and you're like pausing for that, like so that part. So it goes C, mute, hold for a second. Up, up, down, 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 up, like that. C, mute, up, up, down, 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 up, like that. Like that. And then you switch to a G just for the down, and then you mute, so. And come back to the C. So that's the strumming pattern. Down, mute, up, up, down, 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 up. Down, mute, up, up, down, 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 up. So it's like C, mute, C, 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 G, mute, C, like that. Goes to an F, which you've already gone over that chord. So same strumming pattern. So F and then C, same strumming pattern. So and then it goes, stays on C for another round. G. So G, mute. Back to C. Same thing as before. Alright, so that's the whole verse. So it goes, early in the evening, just around supper time, over by the courthouse, they started to unwind. Four kids on the corner, trying to bring you up. It picks a tune out and it blows it on the harp. Now, when I switch to the chorus, we do the same thing as we did before. So even for the intro, remember we pull off the second finger of the C and then put it on. So, and you want to emphasize that change when he's coming to down. So down. So you come to the F. So when you switch to the chorus, you're going to strum a little differently. So. So I play them full to kind of give it a little difference, right? You make it feel a little different than the verse. So this F I just strum twice, very full and open. So like that. Down on the. So for the F I play two long strikes and then one short one. So because on the upstroke you come right to the C. So it's very choppy to give it a rhythm, right? So down on the corner, you try to go with it. So down, 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 and then switch to the C, come up, and mute right away, like this. Down on the corner, like down on the corner. And then after you do that, so I would practice that a little bit, get that smooth first, right? Down on the corner. After the mute on the C, it's up, down, 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 up. So, real slow. Up, down, 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 up, after the mute. And same strumming pattern for the chorus from now on. So, down the corner. Okay? Then go to the G. Out in the street. So it's everything switching between C. So it's F 3 times, then you catch the C on the upstroke mute, up, down, 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 up. Then you just do the same thing with G. So G, G, G. So 3 G strokes. On the upstroke, you catch the C, mute it, up, down, 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 up. And you keep doing that. Go back to the F. So you just go back to the verse then, switch the strumming pattern, right? So, rooster hits the washboard, people just gotta smile. Breaking thumbs, the gut bass, and solos for a while. Right? So it's verse, chorus, and then it does a little break, right? It stops for a little break, and it does the whole, so I do the whole intro again, you know. And then it comes back into the chorus, down on the corner. You come back to that, and then it goes to the last verse. You don't need a penny just to hang around. So you come to that one, and then after that, it goes down on the corner a few times, chorus again, so it's just verse, chorus, that's all. The little break that is the intro that we did in the beginning. And then I end it, you know, just that. So just the intro, right? So after the G, I just pick the G once and come to the C once and pick the whole chord, right? So like that. So that's the whole song, guys. And the hardest part might be that picking in the beginning, emphasizing the notes, or the strumming pattern can be a little tough if you're just getting into muting and these different strumming patterns. But you can definitely figure it out, and also feel free to make it your own, right? You don't have to do all the mutes and stuff. I just like to do that to put the rhythm in as much as I can. And you also don't have to emphasize the notes. You could do a really simple version where you just like... So make it your own and do it for whatever level you're at. You can take out whatever you find really difficult and just put regular strumming in. You know, it doesn't have to be crazy, but you know, I try to make it sound as close to the song as I can, so it's as recognizable as I can. And also, since we're playing by ourselves, it's always good to keep in mind rhythm, right? Because the more like, you know, sounds and taps and mutes and rhythm, and give it some feeling really helps, because we don't have a drummer, right? So just keeping that in mind throughout whenever you're messing around or trying to make your own version of acoustic songs, okay? So if you have any questions about anything we did today, anything about the song that was unclear, let me know. Also, if there's anything you'd like to see on the channel, any covers you'd like to see tutorials for that I've done on here, or covers you'd like to see, let me know. So until next time, take care and happy practicing.